Yeah, first and foremost, it was a great result. At certain stages in the year, you're more focused on performance, and as you get to the end of the year, the most important thing is the results, and we needed that one. It took a great second half, and it took every single one of the subs to pull this game out. I couldn't be more proud of our fight, our resiliency in that second half, and I think everybody saw, including our team, what it looks like, you know, when you give everything you have and when you play with hunger and when you refuse to lose. Certainly the first half wasn't good enough. Guys know that. I don't need to rehash that with them. I got after them at halftime and challenged them to show the face of the players that they are and the team that they are, and every single guy to a man responded, and that was great to see. And I think hopefully we can clone that second half. You know, in this league, it doesn't matter who you're playing. It doesn't matter the style of play that you're playing against. A team like us has to give everything we have. You know, last year, I've said it time and again, we had just enough to win MLS Cup. I believe we were the 5th seed, and we snuck into the 3 seed in the last game, and then, you know, it took a 1-goal margin in the first 3 games. It was tight, you know, and that was with us giving everything we had and being extremely hungry. And I think there've been some times this year, you know, where we've lacked 5 to 10% of that. And I think that second half, finally the light bulb, you know, went on a bit, and I thought the whole team just rolled their sleeves up and refused to lose. And that's the mentality that we had last year. And I'm hoping this is the start of our run to the playoffs, and that same mentality that we created in that locker room, that belief. You know, and I think you saw we needed our subs, and they were excellent today, so I was really proud of that. Sometimes guys can pout or, you know, not take the minutes they get and, you know, do the right things, and we didn't see that, and, you know, that doesn't go unnoticed on me. That's why we have a team. That's why we have depth, and I was really pleased with the subs today.
Thank you, Caleb. We'll open up to round of questions. Jacob Myers, would you like to start us off?
Caleb, beyond just the goal Miguel had, but for him to be calm in the moment, to make the touch, the vision to see Lucas, I mean, are you just, I guess, impressed with, he's becoming a more well-rounded player? I know he's got a ways to go, but it's not just getting the tap-in goals.
Yeah, you know, I thought the guys that we subbed into the game gave us a massive lift, and we adjusted our formation. Thought that helped as well. You know, went to a 4-4-2 diamond, played narrow. Thought we played in between the lines with Darlington by pushing him higher. He sparked the first goal, obviously with the header. And again, Miggy, that's why we played him, and that's why we put him in up top, because he's got goals in him, he's got quality, and he's very hungry right now, and I think that's the key. You know, there've been some guys that honestly have been in and out of being as hungry as they need to be this year, and you know, I can't give that to them. You know, I'll continue to do what I always do, which is motivate guys and remind them of what it takes and hold them accountable and hold them to a standard. But at the end of the day, you know, the players have to be hungry, and they have to be motivated, and they have to give, you know, to the game what they're good at, as simple as that sounds. And I didn't think in that first half there were many guys that did that, and that was disappointing. Whether it was the Pedro injury, I don't know, kind of rattled. It seemed to rattle the guys. Obviously making the sub didn't help. But yeah, it just wasn't what we wanted to see out of the first half. But fortunately that second half was, and you know, we got the result, and we're going to focus on that right now and build on it for sure. But you know, some guys just didn't have it today, you know, and that's why we have a team. When guys are tired and they don't have it, or their mentality's not right, or they're not going to fight, we have to get them out. We're going to have to get some other guys in. You know, and long term, we need to make sure that we have guys that are going to be hungry like last year, and have the right attitude and play for the team and not be selfish and not be up and down, frankly. You know, so it'll be really exciting to kind of build off this second half and see what we're made of in these last 9 games. And, you know, for a lot of reasons, it's going to give us a lot of information, hopefully going into the playoffs and also moving forward, who we can count on.
And when you look at that second half and the extra bit of hunger, is it just simply playing aggressive? I mean, what was the biggest difference on the field from first to second?
Everything that happened in the first half, we talked about, we showed them video, and it was not tricky or difficult things. We got their formation spot on. A couple personnel were surprises who they started, but their formation, they tried to be tricky with telling everybody they're playing a 4-2-3-1. I'm sure you realize, Jacob, they didn't play a 4-2-3-1. They played a 3-4-1-2 and 3-4-3, and you know, so nothing was surprising with the shape they played. And they're a team that goes direct, plays off second balls, gets crosses in, set pieces, long throw-ins, everything. We just did not fight as much as we needed to in that first half. And you know, again, I'm not going to rehash it. I'm going to build off the second half. I'm happy about that. I'm proud of that, and we need to get more guys inside the lines that are going to bring that, because that was really disappointed, whether it was fatigue or whatever it was. But if you don't fight against the New York Red Bull, you have no chance, because that's what they do. And it was nothing tricky or complicated. You just got to win first and second balls. You got to want to be in duels. You got to be hungry to fight and to work. And second half, unfortunately, the guys did that. They rolled their sleeves up, and subs came in and were outstanding.
Caleb, there's a lot of guys that can come in and score a couple goals off the bench, and you know, they become heroes for a couple games. Miguel seems to be establishing himself beyond that. What makes a difference between a guy who can, you know, be a game changer a couple times as opposed to a guy who can consistently do it and maybe work his way into a real career with this team?
Yeah, I think it's two things, and you guys hear me say it like a broken record. It's quality and it's character, professionalism, mentality, if you will. I mean, there's a lot of things that go into professionalism, right? But he has quality. So if he didn't have that, he wouldn't be scoring the goals he's scoring.
Right.
He is very good in the box. Very good in the box. He's very calm. He's got technique. When we do a finishing drill, he's one of our best finishers. But on top of that, his mentality in terms of learning, coming to work every day as a pro and trying to improve, having the right attitude, listen to the coaches, listen to the senior players. A lot of young guys don't do that. You know, they're mad because they're not playing, and they're victims. They act like they deserve more, you know, and they act like everybody's against them, and you know, they end up not developing. Whereas he has the right attitude, and he's a true pro, and he's a good guy, and he's a team guy, and he wants to learn. And when you want to learn and you work hard, you come to training like it's a job, and you get better. But let's not forget, he's got quality, you know. So a lot of good pros out there that don't have quality, and a lot of guys that have quality that aren't good pros. He has both.
Did you see that in him early on, or is that something that's kind of developed?
Well, we wouldn't have drafted him when we
Okay.
drafted him unless we saw that in him. Yeah, so we saw that in him, but I think also he needed some time to kind of gain confidence, get a little tougher. You know, he's a big, good-looking kid, the type of guy you want your daughter to date. But you know, I'd like to see a few more tattoos on his neck and his teeth knocked out, you know, around the goal. You know, I think, you know, he's a clean-cut, nice kid, and I think he's got a fire now. We've tried to light that under him. You know, I think, you know, it's not one thing, right? You know, he goes out on loan a couple times. That probably humbles him. That gives him a fire. He gets his chance. He gets the first goal. He gains confidence, and then he just continues to ride the momentum, and then he continues to come to training with an edge and a chip on his shoulder. You know, I would say first year he kind of was too nice, and you know, almost the guy that would accept, you know, not playing. You know, and I don't mean, you know, it's fine to accept not playing. But he would just assume he's not playing, and you know, wasn't fighting for a job, you know. And when we kind of gave him the pathway of, yeah, you can play and you will play if you perform, and he understood that, then I think the light bulb went on, and you know, obviously it's clicked for him. So it's a great, you know, it's kind of a great, for sure, sidebar story of this season.
Last question.
Matan's had a pretty up and down year. Certainly shows that spark offensively, and we see the defensive side, a lot of work there. But as you get late in the year, and if he's giving you that spark like he is tonight, I mean, is he really going to kind of push for more playing time?
Yeah, I think the key with him, and I actually told him after the game, is, you know, he needs to learn to do that for 90 minutes. It's great that he's coming in when we're down goals, and, you know, that's a different match state and a different type of game when you go in that position, right? Because the opponent's dropping in. There's less to solve defensively. You can gamble a little bit. Same with Miguel. I mean, these are players who are performing pretty well off the bench. But the next jump is, can you perform like that in a 90-minute game over the course of the whole game, both sides of the ball? You know, and that's a lot harder. Some guys never get it. Sometimes guys are just great off the bench. But I'd like to see him, when he starts games, be able to manage those minutes physically, tactically, defensively, and even in the box, you know, find a goal here or there, you know. But right now I like him off the bench because I feel like, you know, when we need a spark, he brings that. There's less defending to do, and it's a perfect type of game for him to go into. And I think when we moved into the diamond, that fits him really well. You know, we dropped Liam at the back of the diamond, and Darlington to the right, and Matan on the left, and Lucas underneath the two strikers. And that's a good role for him, kind of tucked in as like a shuttler, a central pocket player, because he's great in operating in those seams, in those pockets.
And I guess last thing, defensively, just are you seeing improvement from the back line? Sure, the one mistake on the throne, but they pretty much shut him down from there.
Yeah, they did pretty well. Again, I just didn't think first half we were aggressive enough in winning balls, and you know, Joe and I thought second half was excellent. You know, first half looked a little rusty. You know, maybe it's because the travel. He's gone for 10 days. We don't really have one training session with him. We didn't get one training session with him in. So maybe that's a part of it, continuity. You know, I thought a few other guys looked very leggy. You know, so that's disappointing. You know, you want guys to be stronger and to perform better, but it's also why we have a team too. But, you know, moving forward, we need guys that are going to be consistent. You know, we can't have ups and downs, and you know, that consistency is going to be something we need in the next 9 games, and for sure moving forward, playoffs next year, all that. You know, we can't have ups and downs, you know, with players too much. Young players, you'll accept it because they're developing, but senior players, you know, you can't have ups and downs.